You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics. Reminder, take part. Only a couple more chances for you to take part in the First Star Logistics giant giveaway that's been going on all season long. Every week the Bengals play. Today, not the day we expected. The Bengals fall to 8-8 on the season, eliminated from playoff contention as they fall 25-17 to the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. Dave Lapham was on the call on the First Star Logistics Bengals radio network. And Lap, boy, you look at the game stats and so forth. Jake Browning, had a decent game, ends up being sacked. I think it was 6 times, and but you can pretty much go back and the first half the Bengals score, and then they're held scoreless the rest of the game.
Yeah, they didn't take advantage of opportunity enough in the first half, but you're not going to win a football game in the National Football League when in the fourth quarter you have 15 snaps and generate 11 yards. That's what happened to the Cincinnati Bengals. And after the 4th and 1 stop, the Bengals didn't have any turnovers, and obviously Kansas City had one. The Bengals took advantage of it, but Kansas City took advantage of the 4th down stop. And we talked all game long about ending every drive with a kick. Every possession has to end with a kick. You can't give possessions away, and so the fumble recovery by the Bengals was negated by the 4th and 1 stop. And after that 4th and 1 stop that Kansas City had, I thought that the air came out of the balloon very, very noticeably. And the stats prove that 19 snaps for 36 yards, less than 2 yards per snap after that 4th and 1 stop. So that definitely was the momentum changer in the football game. 5 of the sacks came in an 8-play sequence after, they'd only given up 1 sack, and it was a scramble out of bounds for a 1-yard loss. I thought the protection was pretty good when they were able to run the football and keep the offense balanced. But at the end of the football game, when you had to fire and fall back, and there was nothing else that the defensive linemen were keying on other than pass rushing, it becomes almost impossible. And they picked up 5 quarterback sacks as a result.
Zach Taylor in his press conference said he felt sorry for his players. Even though they're eliminated from the playoffs, still a lot to play for next week, that you end the season on a winning note, plus a winning record for the season. But how do you talk about, from a player's perspective, how you overcome the disappointment of what this weekend presented?
Yeah, I mean, you're a professional. You're getting paid to play, and you want to finish with a winning record. 9-8 is light years better than 8-9. And getting that win would mean at least you get one division win, and you don't get shut out and go 0-6 in the division. So there's a lot of reasons to step up and play. And you got to figure the Cleveland Browns, they can't do any better than the 5 seed. They're as high as they can go. They can't get any worse if they lose the game to the Bengals. So you got to figure they're not going to play anybody. They're going to rest a bunch of people. So, you go out there and play, and the guys that are going to be playing for the Cleveland Browns are going to be playing for more opportunities and trying to get their roles expanded. So I'm not saying that the Cleveland Browns are just going to roll out the football field and play dead. That's not going to happen. But you go out there and you compete and you try to finish with a better than 500 record for the 3rd season in a row. And you keep building on that. You try to get as many winning seasons as you possibly can on a consecutive basis, and you don't throw any football game away. You expect to pick up your paycheck. So they're not going to throw the paycheck away, so you better not throw away your effort in the football game.
The very start of this football game, things looked Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan had a game plan. It looked like it was going to be solid. Second longest drive of the season, I believe, was the first drive of the game. Ended in a field goal. As you said, always you want to end with a kick. But then the Bengals did give up the big play with the a touchdown by Pacheco for the Chiefs. But the Bengals come right back. And when they get on that next drive, you have to sit there, another long play. I think it was 11 plays, about 75 yards total in offense. And they hit Mixon for a touchdown pass. You kind of felt the momentum. The Bengals came to play after what we saw a week ago against the Steelers. It looked like this was a different football team. Yeah,
I mean, in the early stages of the football game, I mean, you're talking about when you have a 17-7 lead after Jake Browning scrambles a 1-yard touchdown. You get a 10-point lead on the road against a good football team that's trying to win their division. That's good stuff. There's no question. But you do also have to realize that that football team is not going to quit, and the game's certainly not over. And you have to sustain that, that level. And they weren't able to do it. They ran out of gas. There's no question about it. And I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs credit. I mean, they did what they had to do to win the football game. The crowd was into it. It was just deafening there, as everybody knew it was going to be. But I thought that part of it handled well. There weren't any penalties as a result of crowd noise issues or things of that nature. So from that aspect of things, I thought the Bengals handled things pretty well. But this Kansas City defense is no joke. I mean, they're legit. They're serious. They've played good football all year long, and they've held a lot of football teams. They've held 11 football teams under 20 points. That's the most in the National Football League. Now it's 12 after this game against the Bengals. So, it's not something that this was the only week that the Kansas City Chiefs defense has shown up. They've shown up all year long.
You mentioned it was the sixth drive for the Bengals that they ended up turning the ball over on downs on a 4th and 1. They couldn't convert. At some point in time, a lot of people, I'm sure, will criticize Zach Taylor for not kicking the field goal there and taking the points, something the Chiefs did the rest of the way. They took the points every opportunity they had. They ended up, I think, finishing out the football game. Their sixth drive was a field goal. Their 7th drive was a field goal. I'm sitting here looking at my notes. Their 8th drive, another field goal. And every time Andy Reid could, he took the points. I mean, not so much what your thoughts were, but I mean, was that a good decision? Zach Taylor thought he had momentum with the offense and could maybe make a statement and put this team over where they needed to be to win this football game when they got stopped?
Yeah, I think he was trying to go for a a standing 8 count anyway, and deciding to go for it on 4th and 1. But I just remember, the legendary Paul Brown always saying, take points. Now that was well before analytics. That was in the era, before analytics. And analytics, there's a place for them. There's no question. But analytics are just raw numbers. In analytics, it may be a dominant football team is going against a weak sister and gets, 6 for 7 or 7 for 7 on 4th down. And, that can kind of, do a number on the numbers as such. You're on the road against a team fighting for their playoff lives in a very hostile environment, loud, 4th down. Maybe I know I'm conservative, but I've been influenced by Paul Brown. It's like take the points, particularly when you got to block 95 and you got to handle that Kansas City Chiefs defense. It's just tough to score on them anyway. So maybe that's one of the reasons to go for it on 4th down. How many opportunities you're going to get to score touchdowns, but how many chances you're going to get to put points on the board with a football team like this? They're second in the NFL in points allowed. So you have to factor in everything. You have to factor in the opponent. Where are you playing? What are the circumstances? It's not just raw numbers in my mind. It's human beings, and I don't know. It's easy to say after the fact. Even if they get the 1st down, no guarantee they score a touchdown. May have to kick another field goal, and then all you've done is burn time off the clock. So in that instance, to me, it's like, what the heck? Put it up, get the points on the board.
We're with Dave Lapham, post-game of the Bengals loss 25-17 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Lap, 9th drive. The NFL has not had a good weekend officiating. The 9th drive of the football game was when the intentional grounding call was against Jake Browning, and then that was followed up by the sack, and then the Bengals punted, and the Chiefs had a 27-yard return on that punt. That kind of did you feel that kind of put the nail in the coffin, even though the football game was still, a close football game that it just kind of seemed to take a lot of wind out of the sails?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't helpful. There's no doubt about that. And to me, I mean, I don't know. You got a quarterback that scrambled up in the pocket, located a receiver. You can see him lock in on that receiver. You can see him trying to throw the football to that receiver, and he gets hit during his throwing motion. As a result of him getting hit in his throwing motion, the ball is short. It's not he decided to throw the ball short. The ball is short because he's getting pressured and hit in his throwing motion. Come on, man. That's not grounding. I mean, give me a break. and there was a receiver, 5 yards away. But if he doesn't get hit as he's throwing it, he got it in the direction of where the intended receiver was. I thought that one was reached, to be honest with you.
We're with Dave Lapham on In the Trenches, presented by First Star Logistics. A final reminder, make sure you take part in the couple of weeks we have left here of the season, as First Star Logistics has been giving away some unbelievable prizes. Every week the Bengals play one more game. We still have a giveaway. It's happening before this will probably be released to be probably given away for the vending machine. But I'm being told a huge prize will be coming out the final week of the season. So make sure you stay tuned for all that information on Twitter at First Star LOG. Lap, I'll let you I know you have to go and get the bus and hit the flight home to Cincinnati. Give your final thoughts of the Bengals again. 8-8 on the season, out of the playoffs, one game left against the hated Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically you got to get ready for the Battle of Ohio. If you're a member of either organization and you can't get ready to play in the Battle of Ohio, you don't deserve to be on a football team in the state of Ohio. So, it's a big rivalry, and obviously it wasn't going to mean, or it doesn't mean what you had hoped it might mean playing that football game. But it's still an important football game. I can tell you for a fact that finishing over 500 is light years better when you're reflecting on it in the off season than finishing under 500. I can tell you that, no two ways about it. So get ready to play and give the effort that everybody's expecting from you, because as soon as you don't, the guy you're playing against is going to take advantage of it. I can tell you that. These guys in the National Football League, you can't expect if you have a subpar performance because you weren't ready to play, you can't expect the opponent's going to do the same thing. I mean, it's a lot of times it doesn't work out very well. A lot of times it can be ugly. So get yourself ready to play.
He is Dave Lapham. We're only a few hours away from a new year, 2024. Lap, hard to believe. It's been an incredible year on In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, and we can't thank First Star Logistics enough for everything they've done for us. I know you want to wish everybody out there a happy new year.
I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully you spend significant time with family and friends. That's what it's all about. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas as well. And happy Hanukkah, all the holidays. Everybody hopefully had exceptionally good holiday seasons with family and friends, because that's what life's all about. And get ready for another great year in 2024.
He is Dave Lapham. You have been In the Trenches, presented by First Star Logistics. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. Take part. One more game to go in the season for a giveaway from First Star Logistics. They've been giving away some great prizes all year. Lap, as always, thank you for everything you've done for me over the course of the year. I look forward to a big 2024.
I hear that, Dave. I appreciate you. There's nobody gives more effort to their profession than you do. You are a worker, man. You've got a tremendous work ethic, and everybody can learn from that. There's no question about it. And you do it, and you do it right, my man. So great year. Appreciate everything you're about, and let's keep it rolling.
Again, he is Dave Lapham. You've been In the Trenches. Be sure to join us this coming week as we get ready for the Battle of Ohio, Part 2, as the Bengals will take on the Cleveland Browns. For Dave Lapham and everybody at First Star Logistics, I'm Dave Berk.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.